Sia, can I ask you, I'm going to ask the easiest question today. Just briefly, give us an idea of how your week was in England, sir. Are you guys getting a red carpet treatment there in England? And is Coach Eddie Jones perhaps delivering a bunch of roses here for you guys?
It's been really good. I think the weather has been good, and we've really we've worked hard, and we've enjoyed ourselves being here. And I mean, it's a familiar hotel, Lansbury Hotel. They always look after us, so it's really been a proper week of training. We worked hard. We got a taste of rain, cold days, and some days were sunny. So yeah, it's been an English week. It's been good.
Ross?
Thanks, Ina. How's it, guys?
How's it going?
Stoker, good to see you back. I'm sure that Sia's happy to have his partner in crime back. Sia, before the season started, Yokes obviously had plans in place of what you wanted to achieve over it. Just before the England match now, have you guys achieved most of those plans? And, how has it progressed over the year ahead of your last game?
I think we did get a lot of answers that the coaches were looking for, and we obviously wanted to get them while we were winning, but we lost 2 games now at the end of the year, at the end of the year tour, the autumn series. But I think tomorrow's game is important for us. The result is very much important, especially for our tour and also for momentum going forward. So we haven't thought too much about what has happened and everything. It's just been this game. That's what we're focusing on this week, and we want to make sure that we finish the year off well.
Justin?
Thank you, Zina. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Coach Stoker, this one for you. It feels as if it was the other day that you guys left, for the tour. However, I think it's honest enough to say that it must be like a very long time for you guys. Is that something that you ever really get used to? As a management, as a squad, where these lengthy times away from home, together, is that something you guys ever get used to and just kind of work on, or is it you just accept it for it easily?
Yeah, Justin, I think, to be honest about it, it's part of our job. I think a lot of us, we've signed in our job knowing that this is the challenge you're going to have to go through. And the nice thing about the end of the year tour is you don't have time to think too much or breathe, Week in, week out, there's a different challenge, and you play every weekend. So I must be honest and say, for me, it's not really that tough, because like I said, there's not a lot of time to think too much, Week in, week out, you've got a different challenge, and from that I knew this was going to happen.
What happened?
It's flat.
Just to finish on the question that you had earlier on, like I said, the nice thing about the end of the year tour, you don't have time to think too much, and every week you've got a different challenge, because you're playing week in, week out. So that is something that I personally as a coach, I enjoy, So, and we knew when you come end of the year tour, you don't have time to complain and miss home, even though yes, we do miss home, but I think we're enjoying the challenge. Like Sia said earlier on, I think we had a great week so far, and so we're looking forward to the game. Big game for us to finish the tour, and excited for the challenge also.
Mike?
Sia, let's be honest, England versus South Africa is one of the juiciest games on the calendar. The last few years, there's always some needle going back to Farrell days, and just tell us what it's like to play such a big game, and do you expect it to be any different tomorrow in terms of needle?
I think it's always heated. I think the rivalry goes way back, and I think when you see the game on the calendar, it gets you excited because it's hard to win here, and it's a stadium with a rich history, and a lot of people who played never get the opportunity to play or win. I've never won at Twickenham before, so I don't think it's gonna be any different tomorrow. Both teams are gonna give it everything in a packed stadium. So I'm really looking forward to it, and the boys are ready for it too. And yeah, they might be hit at the beginning of the game or in the middle of the game or the end. But yeah, so it never, there's never a down moment in one of those games.
Guys, okay, let's take a couple of questions from the floor first.
You say you've never won at Twickenham. Is that a big bucket list thing of yours to beat England at Twickenham? How many times have you played
Only once I think I played there before. Last year. That was my first time, I think. Yeah. Not on the bucket list. I just want to win all the time. Yeah.
Eddie Jones was saying yesterday that he's got such a clear memory of 2019 and what that felt to him, the final and the defeat, and it replays in his head a lot. Is, in a positive sense, does that keep you guys going, that you know that's what you can do to England, particularly on a day like that when it all comes together?
No, we've got a clear memory of what happened last year. So it'll be 2019 was a long time ago. They have a different team. We've got a lot of the guys that were there then. You know, some guys retired now. Some guys can't play in this game. So it's completely different. So we can't be looking at that and using it as motivation. I mean, we lost last year, so we don't have to look that far. And yeah, we're hungry as this new group. We want to do ourselves proud tomorrow and want to make it a good game and hopefully win.
What hurts about the defeat last year?
The defeat. That's what hurts. Yeah, it's just the defeat. Yeah, and it was because it was a close game, very close game, and the opportunities that we left out there too. Yeah.
Is there any member of the England pack that you have a particularly hard time against that you look ahead to and think it's a particularly outstanding player?
I think they're all good. They've been amazing players. I can go down the whole team. They're great players. I think Owen Farrell's a great leader. He's good. I've spoken to guys that he's played with. You know how hard he is on the guys, and I think Marcus Smith has done very well from the moment he started playing. You know, he hasn't. You know, everybody's talking big about him, and he's doing it now on international level. You know, Alice Gange is Alice Gange. He does what he does, and you know, and Maro is very good in the line out and controlling, you know, the set piece and stuff like you said, messing up the opposition's set feet. So they're an amazing team. They're really a good team, all of them. So it's hard in general, you know, to play against them. That's why it's hard to win at the stadium like this. And you saw what they did last week, coming back like that with 10 minutes to go. You know, that tells you a lot about them.
Does the way that they played in that last 10 minutes make them dangerous this week, particularly at the start of the match?
No, I don't know. I don't know. You can't. I mean, that's the way we play last week gonna make us dangerous. You know, we can't think like that. We just gotta. We can focus on what we can control. Is our intensity on how we start the game, and you know, when you wanna play a certain way, and sometimes. You know, a test match is all about who's getting their way in the game, you know, and sometimes it goes in periods. Sometimes you get it at the beginning or you get it later in the game. So, yeah, I know they'll probably want to play like that. And with the guys that are coming off the bench, you know, they've obviously got a plan for that.
You talked about Ellis Genge. He's on the bench tomorrow. Have you noticed a change in the way that opponents use their bench since the bomb squad became such an effective weapon for you?
Yeah, everyone had a problem with the bomb squad now. Everybody's doing it. It's funny how the world works. But yeah, people are. It works. That's the thing. It works. It depending on the way you play as well. You know, for some teams it won't work, and depending like what kind of style of rugby you play, and I think it will work for a team like England, because they play similar to the way that we play with the kicking game and everything. Because when you have to work as a forward at all times, back and forth with the kicking, it's tough on the big guys. So when you bring in new guys, new energy, you know, who are as good, that's the important thing about the bomb style. The bench must be as good as the guys at the start, and there shouldn't be a difference. That's why competition is so important amongst teammates. And when we scrum against each other, how hard you go, because you want to make the other guys better, not going soft, you you know, and giving him confidence. No, you go flat out, because so that he knows when he comes off and you coming on, he knows it's just going to keep on climbing like that.
But do you see it as flattering when you see other teams picking their own bomb squads?
Sorry?
Do you see it as flattering when other teams are picking their own
No,
bomb squads?
I just laugh, because, you know, people had a lot to say about when we did it, you know, and now it's becoming fashion. Everybody's doing it, yeah.
See, has it been a challenge for you as the captain to block out the external noise over the last couple of weeks with everything around the Razzie situation and stuff? Has that been difficult? Because there's already a lot of pressure on you as Springboks, but you've got that added into it as well.
When we focus, like, nothing stops. Work carries on. Doesn't matter what happens, and that's where we are fortunate in. But coming from South Africa, not everything is perfect. You know, you can have all your plans, then you get something like load shedding. You plan a party and everybody's going, then load shedding, there's no electricity, you know. So that's who we are. You know, nothing is gonna be so bad that we must like freak out, you know. These things happen and we learn from it, and if it happened before and we didn't learn from it, then that's no good. So we've been through all of these challenges, you know, and it's a good thing going to next year, not only with everything else. I think we as a team, you know, we lost kickers, we lost our 10s, and everybody went down. Now we found new guys who can actually kick and going forward, and we tried a new style of play, you know, and going next year, there's nothing that we wouldn't have faced, you know, and now no challenge we haven't faced as a team. So yeah, we just keep on and moving forward. And the important thing is the togetherness of us as a group going forward, and knowing and also respecting the opposition. We like last week against Italy, if we were worrying about everything else, it would have shown big disrespect to Italy, you know, and they're a great team, and you've seen some of the teams that they've beaten.
Does that galvanise you, that kind of sense of the world's against us?
We don't think the world is against us, you know. No, we don't think like that.
We are part of the world.
Yeah, it's not South Africa and then the world. It's part of, and we're not the only team that faces challenges, and every single team faces is just different, you know, on the challenge for each team. But our slogan is still let the main thing stay the main thing, you know, and the main thing is rugby. No matter what, everything else that happened in between is a sideshow. And like for us as a team, no one is more important than the team. A team is the most important, the Springboks, and most importantly, the country. People expect us to deliver. No matter what we face, we can't be making excuses and say, I don't think we'll be welcome home if we ever make that kind of excuse.
Do you wish it wasn't a problem though? Because it is something that Razzie could control. He doesn't need to go out and do that. Do you wish that he didn't? Because it adds more pressure and adds more noise and everything.
You know, I actually don't want to talk about it because it's a very sensitive thing. You know, anything I say could be written the wrong way. You know, but we're learning as we're going. We're learning and hopefully, you know, something is reached that you know, both parties are happy and is spoken about going forward. And yeah, I just hope it's just gets resolved, you know, going forward, because I think I think it's good for rugby, you know, to have that kind of stuff resolved, because we're all part of the rugby family, and families do fight, families don't see eye to eye at times, but the most important is this: we are all ambassadors of rugby, and hopefully we can, you know, learn from these things and move forward together much stronger than it was before. You know, you can always use difficult periods, you know, you can always use like adversity for good sometimes. It's all about how you see it, and hopefully something great comes out of this. There's a better solution in going forward between coaches, directors, and World Rugby. I really, from the bottom of my heart, hope something more positive comes out of it, because at the moment it's not good for rugby in general.
Plastic, beke waphawula manje uMarcus Samkhumbuza noDemir akuphawule nje manje ngalambi bazabanayo sikhumbule bamhlawumbe ukhe wadibana noMakhasi exesha bosaqeqesha yena na-2011 lakhe balungubani kanti balisele nje manje ngalambi lokhu unobona kwabadlali bekhula bobabili.
Yeah, I think xa ubajongile bobabini they both exciting players yabona and nomdlalo wabo usimile because of players ezimbini ezine-expect and bobabini basebancinci and ayithanda nami i-confidence indlela adlala ngayo mfana kaMakhasi uyambona noko i-experience around yena noko uyagaina i-experience kabadlali abasecansi kwakhe and ne-confidence abamnika yona so nendlela wadlala ngayo last year against thina khumbula ngokuthi asiluzile wayekhona apha ebaleni and i-record lakhe to esibalini kalamini I had 100%. So I think bona basendaweni enhle kakhulu kwela cala and nathi indawo esithandayo kakhulu ngoDamian Williamson simphe ithuba elininzi ngokuka number 10 bakwazi usetlisha ubonile moments akwazi uzi-create for i-teammate so into eke eyona enye battle esijoge phambili kakhulu kuyo ngomso but once again like usiyala lebethethe kakho sininzi i-department apha kuthi esiqondayo bathina njengeqela noko kudala si-improve indlela ehlala ngayo uyabona kukho i-balance kulesi nakho i-kicking game endlela esi-artika ngayo uyabona because abantu abaninzi soloko bejonge ba-Springboks as i-team ye-set pieces ne-kicking only uyabona but now uyabona kwi-players sifumana i-confidence indlela eziyivula ngayo ibhola ihamba isandleni so eyona nto ibalulekile ukuba ngomso elona qela liza-execute kakuhle iplan yabo I think bazawube sendaweni right kwi-scoreboard.
Wena ke siya ilento enyibe kufuneka uwine nako njengoba umdlalo wangaphambili ke ubukela u-Evan Ross ezawugila napha nolento no-Believe Volleyball kunjalo uvuyeni umtshana lo nabantu bodibana lo mdlali banokuthanda ukuhlupha abanye namba 8 uvuya kanjani lo mtshana njengenqobo yakhe noba sempractice njengothetha ngalo mdlalo sazongabana noBhili?
No, uvuyela umdlalo akavuyela udlala against uBhili into ebalulekileyo for yena adlala umdlalo wakhe Ivan and liphupha lakhe udlala amabhokobhoko and ufumana elithuba kule team sikuyo namhlanje ngisidla ehlobo udlala ngalo lehlobo athanda udlala ngalo yena especially ngoku kuphela unyaka and no siyamvuyela kakhulu and uyavuya anawo amanye amagama ngaxela wona but yeah kuzobalekela thina simsupport sibe khona for yena ngomso and udlala namadoda namava apha emva phakathi kwami noSosi so sabe sendlebeni yakhe simcourage imini yonke.
You and myself at 3.
Yes.
Okay. Guys, we're gonna just have Sia for like 2 more minutes, then he can go. Then we'll leave Stick on for just another 5 minutes because we started late. Okay, so if you have any questions for Sia, ask now.
So just wondering what you made of Tom Curry as an opponent. You faced him in the Lions tour as well.
Yeah, he's good. He's just proper. He's hard on the ground. He's a hard hitter. He can tackle hard, and he can can play. I remember playing against him 2018. You know, he got a man of the match the last game, and he's a good bloke as well. But yeah, he's on the ground. That's where he lives. That's where he works. And obviously, it's my job as an open side flanker to stop that from happening. And I think it's going to be a vital. It's going to be a vital battle for the game on Saturday. You know, because he does get in the breakdown and he gets in quickly. So yeah, and he can play in general. I think he's got experienced guy next to him with Willie. You know, he'll get the license to go on the floor.
Any questions for Stick?
Can I ask a question about Evan Roos and what he brings? We've not seen too much of him over here.
Yeah, I think Evan Roos, if we look at what he has achieved so far with the Stormers, and the nice thing is that he's been through our systems. I'm talking about junior levels now with the Springboks and the SA schools. He's a player with great potential. We know he's got plenty of games waiting for him to play for the Springboks, and the way he plays most especially in the open spaces, you know. So, but once again, it's going to be a different challenge for him, because I know one thing for sure: the higher you go, the tougher it gets when it comes to finding the right spaces. You know, playing against England, I don't think it's going to be an easy game because of it's a top class side. So I think the challenge with him tomorrow is not only he mustn't make it personal, you know, where he tries to focus on on himself only. We've got a system in place, and that system creates a lot of brilliant moments to our players around. So once again, I think if he can just make sure that he does his job very well, then later on in the game, maybe he might get those opportunities to run into space. But once again, like Sia said, we're going to have to grind. It's going to be a tough game. England, they've selected a proper, strong squad. And yeah, it's going to be tough. So for him, I'm just excited, you know, and it's been coming. We knew that it's coming, but he just needed to wait for his opportunity, you know. And I think you can't ask for any better opportunity to play against England at Twickenham, you know. Sia mentioned very historical venue between the two teams also. So yeah, I'm excited and just looking forward to seeing him on the field.
Yeah, actually, I know him since he was in school. He, we had to take mentors when I was at the Stormers, and he's one of the young guys that had to be mentored. I'm not sure who mentored him at the time, and I watch him play. We have these big derbies between two schools, and he was big, and he can run, he can pass. And I saw him play in the derby, and he was just dominating. And then I got to meet him at the field. They brought like the upcoming guys that the union wanted to take. And I met him there, and I told him how much I love how he plays. And I told him I would follow his career, and I did that. And we started being in contact. He started playing with the Sharks. Didn't go too great for him there. He didn't get a lot of opportunities. And then he went back to the Stormers. He went back home, and then he started coming on his own, you know, and he started playing the way that the Stormers played, suited his game plan, and he became the main ball carrier. And I love that, you know, at such a young age he faced such a difficult period where he wasn't playing. He was probably not happy, missing his family and everything. And in our team, I think a lot of us have gone through those things, and they're different for everybody. And he's been here, and he's been holding bags and everything, you know. Some of us have had to wait far longer than some of the younger guys, you know. I went for a whole year just holding bags, but being invited just to hold the bag made me want to be here and just seeing how things go. And for him, man, he's got the world on his feet, you know, and he's got a great group of guys. Tomorrow is a perfect opportunity for him to test himself, you know, and it's England in Twickenham. What more could he ask for? I actually saw a picture of him. It was quite cute. He was at Twickenham when he was young, and now he's back there again. And we have his back tomorrow, you know. That's the great thing about this team. We have nice systems that can protect you, but at the same time, you can be who you are. And the biggest thing for us is to let him know that there's no wrong choice that he makes. If he chooses a choice tomorrow, you must go flat out and give it everything you can, and know that we have his back. So I'm looking forward to see him play tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Cool. Guys, he has got to go, but we'll have Stick here for another 2 minutes or so. Sorry, he's got a massage. Sorry, guys.
So good.
Interesting point that Sia raises about Evan in particular having to move around. How critical is patience in the development of players? I think you would have seen that there's been an outcry for players like Mani, players like Evan. Any player that excels at domestic level to be given a run immediately in the national team. How critical is that? Not delayed development process, but guiding a player and guiding them properly into the system.
I think it's the nature of the game, Kanye. So if you look at, I'll probably go to most of the players in our squad. Some of them had to wait for their opportunities. If you look at a guy like Malcolm Max, there was a time where Malcolm Max also was always on the bench for the guys that were there before him. And then all of a sudden, Malcolm Max now became world-class hooker, you know. Sia Kolisi was sitting here next to me. He just explained that he had to also carry conduct shows, you know, for the whole year, you know, until he got his opportunity. So unfortunately, it's a nature of the game where sometimes you just need to wait for your right opportunity, you know. And I'm just glad mentally, I think Evan Ross is in a good space and is mentally tough. Like Sia said, he went through the tough time with the Sharks where he didn't get an opportunity. So that also sometimes helps you as a human being, makes you stronger. And you can't ask for better preparations like that, to understand, because of even on Saturday tomorrow, it's not going to be easy for him. you're playing against well physical class players like the Vunipolas, you know. So I think he's in a good space, and I think he has also matured in his game. I've worked with him on the training field. Like, there's no cruise button when it comes to him. We always work hard. So yeah, I think he deserves this opportunity.
Do you feel like tomorrow's result, whether you win or lose, will it define everything that you've done this year? Because it is England. It is a team that South Africa have struggled against at home, struggled against here in England. But also with the kind of results the Bok had, they'll win 2 games, lose 2 games. So there has been that element of inconsistency. But the Boks do go into this game on the back of another win, even though it was Italy.
Yeah, I think from my side, being in a Springbok environment, it's always, the goal is always to win, irrespective of who you're playing against. The goal is always to win, and same goes as tomorrow playing against England. The goal is to win again. So, you know, and when it comes to the tour, there's a lot of positive things that we, even irrespective of what the results are tomorrow, there are a lot of positive things that we as a team, you know, I think we've got a lot of answers from, you know, because we played against the number 1 and number 2 teams in the world, you know, where we came close, you know, lost one game up with three points, and then the other one lost by 4 points, you know, with the red card, you know. So there's a lot of positive things, and like how we've developed our game, you know, because if you look at with the game against France, you know, where we've created a lot of opportunities to score tries, you know, and against Italy, you know, to be able to score 9 tries. I know a lot of people, they forget about what Italy has done before our game. You know, it was a tough game for us. Even the first half, we had to grind against Italy. You know, they've beaten Australia, who we've lost earlier on in the year against them. You know, so we scored 9 tries, but we had to grind against Italy. So it's the same thing against England tomorrow. You know, if we don't win the game, we'll be disappointed that we didn't win against England, not because of what the outcomes are for the tour. Do you understand? Because of, once again, in the past 3 games we've played, there's a lot of positive things that we can take from them, and I think we're in a good space. You know, we're in a good space towards the World Cup, but once again, we haven't beaten England at Twickenham for the past 8 years, so it's going to be massive, and our goal is to win tomorrow. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Guys will be sending out the recording.